Of the year, the end of the year. And that's a significant phrase because God speaks in Isaiah.
At face value, but somewhere along the line, this is what happened to him. It was a promise that came from Jesus. We don't know. This artist, 7 years ago, my heart is filled with gratitude. Serving this community and preaching for our 2 island nations was privilege of our witness firsthand the incredible resilience of the Filipino spirit. A resilience that mirrors the strength of our Vanuatu brothers and sisters in the face of shared challenge. La radio de las culturas de México.
At the present, 8 hours, 45 minutes, coordinated universal time.
peacefully with one's own feelings. Please go to contact 24 hours of thermometer. Shortwave blackout taking after level of Earth. New space weather storms are predicted for the next 24 hours. At the time, 8 hours, 36 minutes. Forward Universal Time.
Altitude 8 hours, 46 minutes. Coordinated Universal Time.
有许多百姓跟随耶稣，内中有很多妇女和信托。耶稣转身对他们说：“耶路撒冷的民众，不要为我哭，当为自己和自己的儿女哭，因为日子要到。说不生育的和为其怀胎的，未曾乳养婴孩的有福。那时，人要向大山说，倒在我们头上；向小山说，遮盖我们。”这些事是行在有汁水的树上，那枯干的树将来怎么样呢？又有两个犯人和耶稣一同带来主，到了一个地方，名叫主地，就在那里把耶稣钉在十字架上，就定了两个犯人，一个在左边，一个在右边。当下耶稣说：“赦免他们，因为他们所做的，他们不晓得。”兵丁就拈阄分他的衣服，百姓站在那里观看。官知道他说，他救了别人，他若是基督，神所拣选的，可以救自己。兵丁也戏弄他，上前拿刺向他说：“你若是犹太人的王，可以救自己吧。”在耶稣以上有一个牌子，那同定了两个犯人。有一个讥诮他说：“你不是基督吗？可以救自己和我们吧。”那一个近身子对他说：“你既是基督，还不怕死吗？我们是应该的，因我们所做，我们所做的相称。这个人没有做过错不好的事。”就说：“耶稣啊，你得不这样的时候，求你纪念我。”耶稣对他说：“我实在告诉你。”今日你要同我在乐园里，那时就有五个。
Anybody here ever done something like that or thought that? I have. I'm not judging you. Surely I can say 7 and get my revenge. Jesus said to him, I do not teach you up to 7 times, but up to 70 times 7. Therefore, the kingdom of heaven is like a certain king who wanted to settle accounts with his servants. And when he had begun to settle accounts, one was brought to him who owed him 10,000 pounds. $10 million. Depending on what it was back then, some people say $1 million. Some are point. I'm not a doctrinal person from that aspect. So let's just say $10 million.
hours, 58 minutes. Coordinated universal time.
Told me that have any more scheduled meetings or different things in Hollywood planned at the moment is because this is his folk, his world, the loving daughter, because peace is here and thus for world peace. You're feeling the world's karma ready already. So we stopped the meeting.
I'll definitely never forget it.
Most of us have a memory of being in nature we'll never forget. Let's protect the world's natural places so more memories can be made for generations to come. Visit worldwildlife.org.
You are listening to WWCR Nashville, Tennessee, USA.
Changes things. Also funding the weight-loss wonder, Road Monjaro, the end of cheap online shopping, and here comes the heat wave.
In business, oil prices fall despite peace talks uncertainty. And what do markets think about the prospect of a 7th UK Prime Minister in 10 years?
And in sport, we're in Silverbridge in Armagh. We bring you live coverage of the All-Ireland football draw after the news at 8:30. But lots of guests and all the other sports news of the day between now and then.
All of that to come, but first, the news is read now by Kate Carolan. Pakistani and Qatari mediators have said progress is being made in talks in Switzerland between the US and Iran on ending their war. The mediators said both sides had agreed to a plan to conclude their conflict within 60 days. This would involve what they described as a mechanism to end the fighting in Lebanon. Aviv Bashinsky, a former advisor to the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, said Israel was not part of the negotiations.
The Iranians have managed to create some kind of a linkage between their issues in Iran and Hezbollah in Lebanon. And among other things, their claim that Israel has to pull out from Lebanon completely. And this, I can say that knowing Netanyahu, Israel will not agree to a full evacuation of Lebanon.
The jury in the Jeffrey Donaldson sex offence trial will resume its deliberations at Newry Crown Court this morning. The 5 women and 7 men were sent home for the weekend on Friday afternoon after deliberating for around 7 hours over 2 days, following 17 days of hearings. Judge Paul Ramsey has told the jury he's seeking a unanimous verdict, but that will move to a majority verdict if it becomes clear that's not possible. Jeffrey Donaldson is facing 18 sexual offences charges arising from allegations by 2 women that he abused them when they were children. The former DUP leader has pleaded not guilty to all of the charges, including one of rape. His wife, Eleanor Donaldson, has pleaded not guilty to 5 related charges of aiding and abetting his alleged offending. In Britain, the former mayor of Manchester, Andy Burnham, is due to be sworn in as an MP at Westminster today. Mr. Burnham is regarded by some in the Labour Party as the next Prime Minister. He's expected to press the British Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, to set out plans to resign from office. Downing Street said Mr. Starmer would not resign and that he would stand in any potential contest. Yesterday, the British Business Secretary, Peter Kyle, said that Mr. Starmer was taking time to think through what the political realities were compared to last week. Shoppers are being warned that scammers may use the introduction of new customs charges to defraud them of money. The Competition and Consumer Protection Commission said that the new charges are coming into effect on Wednesday week, the 1st of July, and that people may receive bogus messages seeking customs payments. The Consumer Watchdog is also advising shoppers who hope to escape the charges by ordering before the 1st of July to scrutinise delivery dates to avoid being faced with an unexpected bill. Here's our Consumer Affairs correspondent, Angus Cox.
From the 1st of July, customs charges will be applied to all purchases entering Ireland from outside the EU, including Britain, with each unique item in a package subject to a €3 charge plus VAT. Packages under €150 in value were previously exempt. The Competition and Consumer Protection Commission says that with additional deliveries now subject to customs charges, more consumers may be at risk of falling for scam payment links from scammers posing as delivery services. The CCPC said there was a spike in similar scams when Brexit customs changes came in, and that it expects the same with these new changes. According to the Consumer Watchdog, any requests for payments claiming to be from revenue will definitely be a scam, as these charges are never paid directly by consumers, but are instead collected by delivery companies. And Post has also said it never sends click-through links to pay such charges.
The government has announced that new retirement age rights for employees will come into force from this day week, the 29th of June. The legislation allows eligible workers to choose to remain in employment beyond their contractual retirement age if it's below the state pension age of 66. Our work and technology correspondent, Brian O'Donovan, reports.
These new rules are designed to give workers a choice and will not require anyone to stay in work if they prefer to retire. The new right will allow employees to formally notify their employer that they do not wish to retire at their contractual retirement age if it's below the state pension age of 66. Employers are required to carefully consider any notification, and if they intend to enforce a retirement age, they must respond in writing within 1 month. They must also clearly set out the decision, justify their reasons, and ensure that they comply with higher legal thresholds that have been set out in the legislation. Workers who feel their rights have been breached can take a case to the Workplace Relations Commission and could be awarded compensation.
And now the weather.
RTE Radio 1 weather. With Grant. Why not upgrade to an award-winning Grant Vortex boiler for reliable and efficient home heating? Think heating? Think Grant.
Today will be very warm at times. It'll be cloudy this morning, especially in Connacht and Ulster, where there'll be rain and drizzle. There'll also be long sunny spells that will become widespread this afternoon. It'll be generally dry, but there may be thundery showers, particularly in the south and east. Highest temperatures 22 to 27 degrees.
RTE Radio 1 Traffic and Travel. With Hyundai. Discover the all-electric Inster, the best-selling EV under €20,000. Visit Hyundai.ie and check out our calculator to see how you can reduce fuel costs, changing to electric in 262.
With the latest traffic and travel news, I'm Orla Woods. Starting with Dublin, the South Circular Road is busy southbound around the St. John's Road junction. The Grand Canal is slow inbound near Portobello Bridge, and the Nace Road will slow you down between the M50 and the Long Mile Road junction. And there's a delay on the M50 southbound, that's at junction 6, Blanchardstown. Elsewhere in Waterford, there's temporary traffic lights in Fenner Village. The Mill Road in Wexford Town will be closed today for work, and traffic is being diverted towards the Distillery Road. Finally, there's a stop-go system in Cork. That's along the Glenmire Road as you head towards Kearney's Cross. That's your latest traffic and travel news.
Orla, thank you. It is 7 minutes past 7 here with what it says in the papers. Is John S. Doyle.
The Irish Times seems confident that Keir Starmer, the UK's Prime Minister, will outline his exit plan at Downing Street today. His exit from Downing Street, that is. He is expected to announce a timetable for his departure imminently, the paper says in its lead story. The Irish Independent, Irish Examiner and Irish Daily Mail agree, and in a column in The Independent, Fionn Sheahan refers to him in the past tense. Starmer appeared to offer an element of credibility, freshness and renewal when he came to power with a staggering majority 2 years ago, he writes. But Starmer was too boring for the circus of Westminster politics, which places no value on stability, unlike this side of the Irish Sea. But perhaps this is not so. The Irish Examiner leads with the report that a solid majority of Micheál Martin's Fianna Fáil colleagues, surveyed by the paper, believe he should stand down as party leader at the end of the year. Elaine Loughlin writes that the paper has conducted a detailed sample of the party over the past week, speaking to 51 of the 70 members of the Fianna Fáil Parliamentary Party, excluding Mr. Martin himself. It reveals that 59% of those want to see a change of leadership immediately after the EU presidency. Jim O'Callaghan and Dara Calleary are emerging as front-runners to take over, she says. Elsewhere in the Examiner, Cormac O'Keefe writes that as Ireland assumes the EU presidency next month, the country will be a focus for Russian hybrid activities. The Irish Sun, in its lead story, reports that the death of a teenage rally fan has left a cloud of grief across Donegal, in the words of Sinn Féin TD Pierce Doherty. Following the death of Tadhg Callahan Carter, aged 15, after he was hit by a competitor's car at the Donegal International Rally on Saturday evening, our hearts are broken, said Mr. Doherty. The Mail, in a story by John Drennan, marked exclusive, reports on tax matters. Workers will be able to earn up to €1,000 a week before they pay the 40% top rate of tax. Budget 2027 will be the first step in this strategy, Drennan writes, but it could take up to 4 budgets to hit the target. The Irish News leads with a report that almost £3 million have been spent over the past 2 years in running costs at the Royal Victoria Hospital's long-delayed new maternity centre in Belfast. Excuse me. £125,000 every month to run an empty hospital, says the headline. The Independent has a great photograph by Stephen Collins of people swimming at the 40-foot in Dublin yesterday. It was a summer scorcher, says the paper. Temperatures are forecast to rise each day this week, peaking on Thursday at 30 degrees in parts of the country, the paper says. There are swimmers in a Times photograph too, but they are in Paris, which is sizzling, as in the song. The picture by Johan Valat was taken from just behind a young man who is jumping from a height into the Canal Saint-Martin. The National Meteorological Service warned that temperatures could exceed 42 degrees today.
John. Thank you very much indeed, John S. Powell. And we'll be talking about the heat here and in Europe a little bit later in the programme. But coming up next, all eyes on Downing Street.